opponent's home nest. But it is all set, hopefully with the right things now. And it somehow deleted my flag. Can we do without it? Should I do without it? That's nice to have them, right? So, welcome! Same civilizations as we've already talked about. On the left side, but this time the matchups might be different. So we've got Koreans versus Byzantines in the north. It's the same. And Teutons versus the Japanese in the south, where Captain Maldhar will be fighting. Did we have villager losses? We had a villager loss for Peon to Twepy. Even though he can start with the camels. But we're in Deathmatch Nations Cup, the Commonwealth battle. Probably deciding the group win in Group H. At least it's the two favorite teams they're meeting. Have an International Olympic Committee's flag? No, we won't whiten the Canada flag just yet. As the camel rush gets dealt with on this side, and NuclearPasta is elephant rushing against Daywalker. Strong Helvetiers on both sides though, well, arguably the stronger ones for the Teutons. So kind of rushing the stronger half side here with elephants. Forward, Paladins trying to pick off some villagers, but the Helvetiers are catching them out. And then we have the Elite Fire Lancers, which are resource-wise really nice for the Vietnamese to make, because they want to invest their food into the Dumbos. Rush from the pocket by KD on to NuclearPasta. But it's Helvetier rush. Well, I guess we prepared for the elephants to come to the pocket, but what the hell is this pocket? I mean, adding some helps, I guess. Is this KD overreacting to the elephant pocket? I mean, he wants to do a massive push against the through the middle against Pasta. I am a bit surprised by this Lithuanian plan, but he's taking the elephants very seriously out of NuclearPasta. Going for lots of Helvetiers, therefore won't really be able to help on the sides. And what if, like, Pasta just ignores him now? I'm not sure I like this from KD. On the left side, Twepy getting control of the down low areas with the golds and the stones. Is he getting control? Peon is aiming to snipe the villager. Rocket card flattens them in the last second. On the right side, Maldhar moving forward with Cav Archers, the bane of the Teutons' existence usually, and the elephants are tanking Castle Fire relatively well. Not too many, well, actually 6 villager losses for Daywalker. Daywalker's in trouble here. Is Canada starting game 1 with a win? Trebuchets are firing onto the castle. One castle falls. Daywalker is a bit in a pickle. Still looking good for Twepy on the other side. It would be crazy if Canada can win with these civilization matchups, but honestly, Maldhar is doing a good job. He's the captain for a reason. NuclearPasta is supporting him. NuclearPasta is a strong late game player as well. So, even though he might not be the best DMer, but he's very accustomed to DM, has played plenty of Deathmatch seasons. So he's also not just an RMer, as with some other teams this tournament. And units on the hill for Maldhar, so he has a good position on this side. KD wants to push to the middle. Lots of Helvetiers for him, but we've got the Fire Lancers to counter the Helvetiers. So that's also helping the elephant push. Pasta now fighting in the middle. I don't really like it. I think he could give up the middle here. KD's very slow. If Pasta just could focus all his attention together with Maldhar in kind of finishing Daywalker, as Daywalker has lost all the castles at the front of his base. There could be a chance for Canada, but the Teuton Mass is now out for Daywalker. No support by the pocket anymore. And big shots onto the cavalry archers of his opponent. Maldhar a bit on the way back on this side. KD moving forward. Lost the castle though to the trebuchets. Not paying attention on his castle placement. giving NuclearPasta a free kill. NuclearPasta working on further castles, doesn't really have the Fire Lancer numbers to support his elephants there. Elephants would have to fight a lot of airbeaters. And the Lidus are now going on to sniping the trebuchets. I think they're no longer nerfed anymore by ignoring the armor, negative armor of the trebuchets. So they will take them out. Not many relics yet, +3. So only one relic in. One relic obviously here just now being secured by the Lithuanians. And we need to look on the top side though, as Pion is in big problems. But bombard cannons down a forward castle for Twepy. Classic Twepy fashion, always putting the castles very forward. Classic Twepy castles means it goes up though, and this one was denied by the sneaky bombard cannons behind the barracks. As the war wagons and the big rocket cart death ball moves in. Koreans are so scary on both land and water right now in Deathmatch as they tear down Pion space. Pion had a nice start, had some good micro, but it is just hard with the Byzantines against the Koreans. Byzantines die even harder to CA than Teutons, and Teutons don't die that hard to CA in DM even, but Byzantines struggle a lot against them. It is Byzantine elite skirmishers, Imperial skirms. We've got Byzantine Imperial skirms on the field. Team Canada has found a tech combo in this anti-combo pools. It is the Imperial Byzantine Skirm stack. I'm laughing if you're watching DM for the first time, because skirms are really not good in DM, and we rarely see them as the Koreans inch forward so much. Siege for all the players. Siege onagers being a very prevalent unit, henceforth the skirms not too great. Stable situation on the right side. Maldhar versus the Teuton ball. Twepy is pinging the trade as he says, I will kill Pion, I will go in there. Can you come with me, Mr. KD, instead of trying to fight the elephants in the middle? That's at least what I'm imagining. Daywalker is sending resources to Twepy. Okay, they're not sending support, they're actually sending resources. So good cue for us to take a look at the rest banks. NuclearPasta with 500-600 resources only left, so pocket very spent there. The resources still looking decent for the British team, and even though Maldhar had a good jump, alright, Maldhar already saying it is desperate measures are needed. I will do a cav raid. Is it too early for that though? Is there even enough trade out? There is kind of some trade out, 15, 11 and 15. We'll easily get into that. This map makes it very hard to defend your trade as it produces these awkward hill extensions. And trade can be sniped, it's very hard to protect trade as you cannot make castles on that easily. Lidus doing a good job. 2 relics have been gotten. So with the help of the monk healing the Lidus, they took out the Cav Archers, and I think the raid might have been too early and not yet often enough. But trade numbers, barely killed any trade, to be honest. But I guess it distracted Team UK a bit, as they seem to be losing some ground here, and NuclearPasta is getting quite the distraction army out, as finally there's a trebuchet out as well, and the bombard cannons are gunning down the Korean forward castle. So can Pion reestablish some position? He still has the economy, he has the villagers. Only the military amount now a bit of a problem after Pasta got cleaned out. But Canada not yet out of this. And Maldhar is kind of just treading down siege onagers here. Okay. One goes forward, avoids the traps, kills the trebuchet, but loses its functionality as well. Stone being sent to Daywalker in order to fortify their trade, fortify the road to the trade, as we've got a samurai raid. They can speed up only if they attack, but it goes on villagers, so it works on trade cards as well, I would imagine. And that is gonna be a doubt castle for Daywalker. Castle is taken out. And we've got Samurai in the trade. Maldhar is attempting to snipe the market here. Okay, I mean, that would be annoying if it can idle the trade. At least Electronic Knight is trying to fix it. The Samurais could fight back. I think that's pretty even between the two units. It's repaired! Daywalker is repairing the market. When have we ever seen this? Market being repaired by two villagers and an ETK defending it from Samurai. On the top side, actually Canada's pushing back. 3 trebuchets set up, some units in front. Yeah, KD's coming now. Canada is way worse civs here. Like, they're making game 1 so close without investing any civs, basically. So, this can be a super close series, guys. Hello, Sam. And why don't you say hi to you? Elite battle elephants rolling forward into the war wagons, but in these numbers will be easy fodder for the rocket carts and the war wagons themselves. So still a potential pushing position here. KD now with some raids on the trade with the Lidus. Cataphract and Lidus kind of, I don't know, counter each other. The Lidus... Dude, does the Cataphract armor work against Lidus? Probably not, right? I'm not sure if the bonus damage armor works here or not. KD sends resources to Twepy. Twepy getting more and more resources in order to push through on his side. Now we've got to push in the south as well for Daywalker. Lots of paladins, lots of siege onagers, paladins and ETK storming in. ETK are beating Samurai? I guess plus 10 damage are not enough. When you've got 13 armor. Kind of surprised by that, to be honest. But yeah, they barely have some armor themselves, right? 17 plus 4 attack versus 12 plus 4. Yeah, ETK might actually win that, even though it's a unique unit. And oh no, Maldhar CA ate quite some big shots here. And that's such a beautiful spot for Daywalker to sit on. 4 trebuchets on a hill firing down. And even though the opponent is supposed to have Japanese trebuchets, there are none on the field. So this is Maldhar in trouble. While at the northern side, Twepy is firing onto the Byzantine castles. And the Cataphracts try to do something against it, but Cataphracts are really not that good here. I'm not sure why we're playing ETK, why we're playing Cataphracts. Well, I mean, if they get onto the siege, it's nice, but the GGs are being called, as they probably assume they can't stop Twepy's push, and Maldhar is also a bit faltering here to the hill push by Daywalker. Great Britain takes game 1, but with way more civ investment for them, already using Teutons and Koreans early on in the series, while Vietnamese are more of a bottom civ in the civ pool, and Japanese and Byzantines are the ones you've got twice. So honestly, this starting game makes me feel confident for Canada. Sure, it gives a 1-0 lead for Great Britain, but I think it should give Canada quite some confidence. And yeah, the ETK, the elite upgrade, now gives Teutonic Knights a crown as all the unique upgrades further your... Well, you can see them now. Sometimes one should not speak too fancy. KD with the most res collected. Did he overboom? No. Peon and Pasta actually with the highest will counts. And the most APM for Daywalker. The guy plays since 2002. And still has more APM than everybody else in a top match. And by far. That's a top APM for DM. Keep in mind this is played at doubles at 2 times speed. So that lowers the GAPM a bit. And kind of crazy to have 87 APM and be playing this game for over 20 years. Daywalker Beast, Great Britain takes game number 1, but Canada definitely showing promise there, and as said, investing less in terms of civilizations. The gold is Daywalker, so GB will be purple here. And cross off the civilizations, and as you can see, already Koreans, already Teutons, and then it was the Lithuanians for GB. And on the other side, Canada kind of went with merely Byzantines, Vietnamese, and well, Japanese. But I think the Lithuanians as a pocket civ are actually higher than it is on here. And they haven't used any of their first row, and they still have another Japanese. So I would still say it's an equal round. And we are going to... we don't know yet, next. Because the lobby still set to outcrop. Hi, Katie. I default to the left side, even though Great Britain is on the right side. I can't actually see who's where on how it's set up. And I always thought that pew 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 was more of a hype emote. But it looks like KD, after his Lithuanian pocket play, will be sitting out in game number 2. Henceforth, he is in chat. Hi KD, well played. And let's end the prediction on game 1. I mean, I'm just rooting for a close series, Orico. Do you have to have mentioned that there's another cast in every of your messages? I mean, for me it's a lot more fun if people are in my chat too, even when there's like a bigger stream covering events. Because you know, they won't be covering all the DM events. As we are going to Coast to Mountain next, selected by Maldhar for Team Canada. Daywalker has joined the lobby. I mean, I get it. I'm excited too. We're getting DM back into big streamers covering territory. We already had a Viper POV, we had a Tato POV. So, DM's back on the menu. Just gotta hope that we actually at least get this event to beat here. Gosh. 330 for all this is kind of insane. I mean, it just turns out that a lot of people are passionate for DM, right? One could read it that way as well. That prize pool doesn't really matter and people just miss DM and are passionate for Deathmatch. So we don't have to put lots of prize pools in order to attract all the best of the world to play, right? And I love these kind of maps, definitely Persians here. I agree with both of your statements. Orico, of course, was the disciple of Maldhar in Carry Me or Die 1. And we're gonna go to Coast to Mountain. What could we see besides the Persians though, as I'm almost sure, well, I'm pretty sure. I'm absolutely sure we're gonna see Persians for both teams here. I would be shocked if we see something else. 3 other civilizations there. I don't feel like you use Slavs here, because you want the speed bonus somewhere else. Like the team bonus of them, giving pop space to military buildings. There's no Koreans anymore for Great Britain, so I feel like we might see Koreans out of Canada. And then also no Teutons for Great Britain. So no siege for Great Britain kind of left. And Canada still has multiple options for that. On the water side, we could see Byzantines, I imagine, or maybe a Goth. Teuton Persian? Could also do Korean Persian, no? You made me play Persian so many times. Oh, there was a Persian meta there, right? We've got a game! So let's find out what the answers to all of our civilization questions are. And I think with the Sys used so far, there might be a good chance for Canada here. We have Italians, we've got double Persians of course, Vietnamese and Italians for, no, Vietnamese and actually the Slavs for the British team, as we do have Koreans, as I said, get wrecked Oracle, and the Italians for the Canadians. So many countries in one sentence. Game 2 prediction is up, so you can bet your points on Coast to Mountain. Yeah, Oracle hates playing it and hates not being able to stop them. Why wasn't Maldhar playing them actually, right? He played the Britons then? The C-Mod 1 was a lot of Persian Britain. Yeah. Not sure how Maldhar actually feels about Britons. Well, let's go! Big battles, a bit Amazon Tunnel style, with multiple armies in one spot could be ahead of us after a little battle for water. United Kingdom versus Canada. And welcome to Deathmatch World Cup, no, Deathmatch Nations Cup 2026 on Coast to Mountain, Waterside Daywalker with the Vietnamese against NuclearPasta with the Italians. Will be fighting for the southern map control around the pond. Very important not only for the oysters but also for denying and deciding who gets the trade route. Also, we've seen Team USA corner landing a lot. In the middle, unsurprisingly, Persians for both teams, Peon and Polar controlling those. And up top side, we've got a castle wall by Maldhar. Wop, 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 Korean castles. And then bunk, 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 bunk. Korean siege workshops. LSD, let's go. Representing Team Italy, which didn't sign up. And on the other side, we've got Twepy as the Slavs with more of the normal start in the space and going further forward with his castles to control the wood side. Peon, as the Persians, is Savar rushing the docks of Daywalker. Alright, villager is trying to retreat. Savar following, though I don't think he can save this one. So yeah, that villager goes down and good jump onto the water for NuclearPasta. Okay, I don't understand Minecraft references, fortunately, because I never had to play that game. And we've got fire ship start? Is that what you do? I guess if you expect a galleon opening by your opponent, to also have some carracks, that's going to help multiple NuclearPasta massively in a firefight. And yeah, this side looks good on the water for Canada. Turns out the British might be living on islands, but they are only living in one ocean, whereas the Canadians have access to two oceans. And maybe two waters beat one water. Definitely a good start for Pasta against Daywalker. Daywalker has a lot of land units, but as we saw earlier with Admiral Zhao, those can't really take water control. Unfortunately, pikemen poking down an unbuilt dock. And this is looking troublesome for Canada. It's looking way better for Twepy, probably in the north, who's trying to take forward position. Maldhar has an army together, however. So the Canadians might stabilize over there. In the middle, war elephants are being massed on both sides, as we've seen ever so many times on Coast to Mountain. Well, it's a very interesting map. It's a very interesting map element that you've got so different roles, right? You've got the heavy cavalry, kind of the elephant role, to be honest, in the middle. Then you've got the water fight role, and you've got the wood hill fight role. I think you've even saw teams trying Tatars here. One team at least. I think besides the French, nobody has played Pool 1. And that's needed to see Tatars. At least you get them twice there. And Tatars would obviously also be nice against the elephants. And it's the elephants are trying to come in here for Polar. The British uniting their troops around the top side. The market notifications are out. We'll still have the tribute though. And we can look at the resources on that tab now. Daywalker saying slinging to Polar. Sling will be very important here to prop up the Persian. NuclearPasta has 16k food in the bank, for example. That should all go to Peon for the Canadians as well. Good armies here, masked up on both sides. The elephants a bit late for Polar. Elephants already in the army for Peon. Water control is theirs. Cannon gain could be moved a little bit forward. One castle squeezed to the edge of the map. But with all that being done here, that means that there's kind of a one-tile gap for a trade to get stuck in. Even though if we can keep that. Do we have transport ships already? We do have 2 transport ships already. People are learning from the USA. We've got NuclearPasta hopping into the transport ship for that side landing. Following in the US footsteps for their very friendly neighbors in the Canadians. As the elephant mass here up top looks good for Peon. 80 elephants for the green Persians versus only 66 elephants for the yellow Persians. Rocket carts mixed together with war wagons, what we see so often from the Koreans. Still don't know how much of a fan I am of playing Fire Lancer with Koreans in a team game. I guess you can sling. Need wood sling here, as all these units are costing wood. Lots of siege onagers by these Slavs though for Twepy. That's a big old siege mass together with scorpions from the Polar. It's a combined siege mass of yellow and red, and Great Britain is pushing forward. But we've got a landing! We've got a landing! We have a castle in the corner coming up, but actually Polar can keep his castle alive. I guess, I don't think this will range, even when it goes forward. Where's the army of Pasta? Does Pasta have a land army? Pasta has some land army. It's fighting a land battle of the 2 designated water sieves in the bottom side with the 2 Italian unique unit combination, Genbos and Condos, and a little bit of siege behind, but the big battle is up top where Maldhar is losing some ground, and the elephants of Peon tried to find another angle, but now the elephants of Polar return. I think these guys need to come back as well, or Maldhar might get cleared up massively here. Oh no, Maldhar's in trouble, Maldhar's in trouble! Where are the elephants of Peon going? They wanted to take an engagement here, they are taking engagement, they are winning an engagement there. This engagement will be won for Canada. But is it worth it to win this engagement? That front seems way more important up top. I mean, the trade wall castles are still there. Some more slinging going around from the British team. Feel like they're doing a bit more of a job with that. Although I think I saw also sling from the other side. But still NuclearPasta. So much resource on the Italian. That should go to the Persian. Now the elephants in the middle don't know what they're doing. Don't really need to fight these Ratans. Need to get up top. Need to challenge the attacks there for Polar, for Twepy. The elephants rushing into the castle wall. Castle wall is still standing. We don't really have building killing siege anymore. Trebuchets and bombard cans have kind of ran out here. 5 more trebuchets in the queue. So Maldhar can hold here a little bit longer, and the longer Maldhar holds, the better it is for Canada, because Canada is controlling the water side, is controlling the south. They do have 2 forward castles, they do have 2 trebuchets, they're taking out the market, and they can maybe creep into the base there now. Daywalker is onto it though, is now shifting his focus here in order to fight for the corner. Little bit shorter trade for them is underway. Trade for the Canadians, 27, 18, 26 to 12, 10, 29. So actually more trade for Canada. Forward castles though coming for Twepy, pressuring here up north. Pion a bit trickling his elephants in. Pion's elephants all fighting under the hill against the big scorpion mass of Polar. They are making it into these scorpions, however. The Sea Giant just come rolling back. Hill advantage here though, more for the British. Will kill some scorpions. Question is how important that is. Pion will lose all his elephants. There will still be elephants for Polar. Siege units here. Trebuchets also under the hill for Maldhar. So the British getting the high ground. Interesting to no one go Korean Champ plus Rocket Card plus Wagon. The problem with Korean Champ is that they're too bad against the elephants, right? You at least want some bonus damage against them on both sides, so I think that's the reason that kind of the middle ground is the Fire Lancer between the champion and the Halberdier. With Sling it's easier to uphold than in a 1v1. Fire Lancer is lots easier to make in team games because you can sling your res around and get more wood as the Koreans. And then send more food to your allies, so especially with the Persian, if you combine the resource for the teams, it actually makes a lot of sense to make Fire Lancers instead of champions, and maybe even instead of Halberdiers. Halberdiers still some functionality though, as they have more bonus damage versus elephants. Rocket cards here, holding, barely holding. More trebuchets on the way there. Can Pasta make this worthwhile? Daywalker is giving his full attention to containing this left side push. Forward castles for Pasta. Pasta trying to press the advantage in the bottom, but loses this castle. And I start feeling like GB have done enough to slow this down, but there was some massive shots, more massive shots. Great Otter micro by NuclearPasta. So many flattened ratans. Now Daywalker is splitting just to say, hey, stop doing this. I've got 90 APM. I can split, but then he eats a big cannonball carrion shot. And he might eat another one. So the right side of the map's just splat bonanza for NuclearPasta. That could be the title of a D-tier action movie, but would also be the subtitle of DM Nations Cup, I guess. But what did I even say? I don't know. It sounded good when I said it once. Elephants for Pion streaming in. Where the yellow elephants? The yellow elephants are gearing up for a ram push here. Pion has some units around there though, could have spotted that. And his own elephants are doing a good job up north. So Maldhar kind of stabilizing. I mean, long term they will have the better trade. They will have the full trade route throughout the whole map. Whereas on the other side, trade is significantly shorter and also quite blocked here with these market buildups. I get told off about Overwhelm, Piers 176 wills and Otter says nothing. Yeah. I just like to torture you, KD, you know? Or it's because he's Persians. And with Persians it's a bit less of a crime. Persians usually want a high will count to keep that elephant spam up, as their units are very pop efficient, so I don't think 150 is that terrible. He doesn't have 156 wills, he has strike cards. Twepy is a freaking smurf. He's getting a bit smurf back now though. Definitely a strong player. I mean, he's almost 2k in RM and a top DMer since a while, so Not sure about what he's hiding there. Trying to go in with the Booyah. Quick walls. Maldhar. Beautiful. Quick walls out. These guys. Elite Booyah go around. Oh, we're thinking of Caravanserai even. For the Persians. Are we thinking of Caravanserai for the Brits? No. Polar has forgotten one of his best Civ bonuses. But Peon remembers. I don't like the placement of this Caravanserai though. Going to the edge of the map. It's kind of hard though with the farms. But the nice trap saves the trade rate somewhat. And good reaction by Maldhar actually having fire lancers here. Taking out the rest of the Booyahs. Good shots maybe. One siege onager. Potentially under castle fire, under trap fire, under everything fire. And Twepy wastes another castle. In classic Twepy fashion. He places his castles way too forward. Still nobody's overbooming. Okay, Twepy's 140 builds with the 140 eco with the Slavs. I guess if he's playing Booyah, that's okay. We've seen 180 villagers or something from Daisy, so... You know. When did I even tell you off of overbooming, man? I completely forget what I cast every time. Sometimes these players like remember and are salty about things that I said at some point, and I'm like, okay, what did I say? When? What? How? Double castle, house behind. Can we wall this? Can we wall this? Can we wall this? Elephants are getting in for Polar. Red cards will heal though. But the fact is, with Polar sees the Caravanserai, will he think of his own? Oh, also Twepy should think of deleting these houses. Trade getting ugly for Team GB. Are they running out of gold yet? Gold is looking a lot better for the Canadians. Did the Canadians maybe hold long enough for their better trade to kick in? The southern corner is cleaned, so Pasta has no control there anymore. Trebuchet is firing at the ships, but the trade is still short. So, the longer the game goes, if they can hold the northern corner, Canada should be in the better position. Did Twepy cut all the wood before trading? I think there just was none, right? This was cut, I think, to attack. No, I don't think so. No. There was just one wood line that was cut, so the siege could hit. Ah, no, I missed the ad block. Mods. And Maldhar stabilizing. Pasta still trying to push on the south side. Cavalier now by the Vietnamese. Not going for their own elephants. I guess they're saying we have enough elephants on the field already. It's mainly a dodgeball game here. Cavalier also against the Genbos. Not all that convinced much is gonna happen here. Important part is if they are still short trading, and they are. So heavy fighting still happening up top. Castle falls for Twepy. One more castle falls. Canada on the verge of pushing back. Peon and Polar's elephants walking in the same direction together. So kind of hard to notice who's progressing where there. And the elephants are jumping onto the rocket carts. Elephants, also the unit that tries to defend them. Middle is completely empty. We're fighting on the water side where there's some gold, where there's some stone. Stone, pretty important resource, can't be traded for. Still up for grabs there. One of the castles for NuclearPasta will fall, so Daywalker slowly pushing back here. Could try for a bit closer markets. They are trying for a little bit better markets. How much trade profit are they getting? We're getting 65 here. And we are getting 91 for the Canadians. Rocket carting down a castle. Maldhar is living the life. Holy shit, how much damage do they do? What the hell? How good are elite rocket carts against building? It says 14. The bonus attacks on these things is so confusing because every rocket it has does that. I know why Pasta doesn't go north. Yeah, combined with the other armies too, I suppose, instead of fighting red archers. What is he defending? I think he was trying to attack. I think he was trying to attack the trade stick. The best defensive. There's 3 options to pick from. One is Celts, one is Saracens, and one is Jurchens. For 1v1, if we're talking pocket civs in team game, Persians, as you can see on screen, is an option, and Hindustanis would be the other option, but Hindustanis only as pocket and only in team games. The extra rockets do it. They have extra rockets for the Koreans? Man, rocket carts are still weird things. Fire additional projectiles. True. Okay, yeah, that makes so much sense then. Because according to this, every projectile of the rocket cart has 14 bonus damage against buildings. So the extra projectile should be massive against buildings for the Koreans. Georgians? I didn't say Georgians, I said Jurchens. Jurchens. I don't know. The other Civ. Yeah. The Chinese one. But Georgians are a good contender as well. Yeah. Georgians, both Georgians and Jurchens are pretty close to the top. Look at the amount for stone for GB, quite heavy. Yeah, that's also something they're fighting for in the south here, right? The stone deposits were here. Twepy still has a lot of stone. No castles in the trade whatsoever. Don't have that many on the other side either. Still no caravanserai. Still no caravanserai at all for Polar. I mean, KD, you have to talk a bit seriously with your captain there. Quite heavy, but not intended. Oh god, I just saw that. I would have not noticed if you didn't say pun not intended. But yeah, the Georgians also have the buffed and Asnari cavalry, so they can field more than 200 pop relatively easily. They just make some calves, so they're also very strong. Fire 2 is lowest rated Persians fighting Persians. Easy answer, because they're not. This is RM rating and Deathmatch is very different. So I mean, with the GB guys, it's all very close. Polar has not had the 1v1 success of Twepy and Daywalker, but he's also not really playing 1v1s, so it's hard to say who's the best player of these three playing for Great Britain right now. Probably Daywalker. I would have to take one, but they're very close. And historically, Pion has been stronger than Pasta, I would say. Even though it looks like 1300 is 2k, right? But that's showing RM elo, and a lot of these guys actually don't play RM. I don't think Polar has played more than 10 RM games over the last 2 years. But yeah, it's more macro dependent as well. So for example, with Maldhar and Aurico, Aurico is probably paying the Persians because it's less micro. I think here it's just preference, as the player skill level is pretty close and has nothing to do with the elo numbers that you see on screen. Pion's Elephants defending this side, and Maldhar is creeping forward. The castle structure by Maldhar is so funny. He did like this line of castles here, right? Half of that fell. He's kind of rebuilt it in an odd shape. And now he's castling hilltop, 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 hilltop. And the reason that the GB team has so much stone is because they can't spend it. And we've got a landing. We've missed another landing. We've missed a castle drop. We missed the Twepy castle. There's a Zhao castle. Zhao castle by NuclearPasta going up onto the trade. The absolute goat move by the Pasta. He's also gunning down at least the trebuchets. They might not be able to reach the castle. They are actually able to reach the castle. Never mind. They are able to shoot at the castle, and the castle is able to shoot at the trade. Daywalker's losing all of his trade. I don't think the other traders are going there, but Daywalker is losing a lot. I guess Daywalker is the most important player on the team. The others are trying to get north. The full trade line starting to pay off for the Canadians. Also, the fact that they made the unique building of the Persians and Hindustanis. Well, DM ladder is in the game actually. It's just a bit more hidden than it was back then. But yeah, I wouldn't mind matchmaking either. The lobbies are kind of fine though, and they're super active these days. So if you want to play DM yourself, join the Discord, and the Looking for Games channel there is super active. Works a bit like Rage Forest, but with a rank system. That's actually in the game itself. Massive combined army of Koreans and Persians up top. Progressing. And inching forward. And this is looking like Canada will take their home map. Very nice place by NuclearPasta, always being a distraction, denying more trade, push the trade back by another few tiles, also killed some trade cards, and now Maldhar with the castle creep. This looks so funny. This is such a huge map, and he's creeping forward with castles by 3 tiles, 4 tiles, 1 tile. And did I promise too much with this set? I don't think I did. This is one of the best games of the tournament, for certain. They almost had them, right? The Britons were almost through. They were almost in the trade of the Canadians, but by shortening the trade here, as a follow-up of winning the water, they were able to have the better trade and long-term push back. But it's not over yet. The British are not giving up yet. There's another Elephant Mars by Polar coming in. We'll push this back again. Wood will soon become an issue as well, right? Koreans, very wood-dependent civilization. Maldhar really needs those wood lines. That's a bit distracting him from staying on top of the hill. Wood is empty for GB as well. Do we have villagers on wood still? No, not really, besides these wood lines. Oh, I had to sneeze. But before I had to sneeze, I wanted to say we have fully reached wood game territory. Wood trade on water. Oh yes, of course. We can do that here. Hi, Fuddy. Do we set up forward docks here? Cavalier taking out forward structures. We're fighting over these wood lines right now. We're fighting over these wood lines. Water is actually already controlling wood even without the trade. They're being taken. Let's go. This is the perfect game. If Days Chat isn't getting entertained by that to watch more TM, what can we do, right? As the Sava are running in to the trade. It's making me so happy. It's all working so good for DM right now. Yeah, it's kind of what I worked for years. Tirelessly casting to not too many people. Good trade is... I said it during the earlier set, right? I don't know if you were there, Warpath, but I was commenting on that. This would be a huge change to eventually to team games on like maps with a little water, how the late game plays out. Oh, that could have been a big shot But Polar notices they're out of wood, they're controlling all the wood around the water, and just like these woodlands is already enough. Great Britain calls it after a fantastic game. Number 2, Canada gets onto the scoreboard. And what a game it was. It was so close for the Brits as well. Fish traps. I mean, rarely is time for beautiful fish traps in TM. There was still some fish, so I guess. And some oysters. I mean, oysters make a difference too, right? Let's go 5 games, says Warpath. At least we will have 4. As we have both teams on the scoreboard and we have ourselves a series. And that's everything I was hoping for this set. Now, we have to change our hopes. We have to get them up for that 5-game series. 880 kills for Peon. Actually, better KD a lot for Peon's Persians than for Polar's Persians. And I think there was a question earlier why the lowest RM Elo players are playing the Persians. I think I found the answer. It wasn't the Elo. It was the player that's player name starts with a P is playing the Persians. And I think they did that on purpose. Purposefully Peon, Polar, Persian playing. It's actually a full sentence. Purposeful Peon, Polar, Persian playing. Let's go. Crazy APM charts. Old Man Daywalker still on top. But not on top of the win this time. I didn't say what a long series. Did I? It was a really good game too. And you've got the 2-0. The 1-1. Gosh, you're confusing me. Coast to Mountain home map win for Canada. Both teams have used their Persians. There is the top silver I was talking about, and I meant the Georgians. Georgians. Yeah, I do say them different. We will still see them in this set, at least if it goes long enough. It was the Koreans used for Canada, the Vietnamese, and the... The Slavs, right? They lost the Slavs. Field military APM? Patrolling elephants? Okay, let me check. Military APM 72 for Daywalker. PR 26, yeah. Polar was microing his elephants a bit more, I guess. Good catch, good catch. And then we had the Italians? But I marked the Vietnamese already, right? Vietnamese, Persians, Slavs was for the British. And Canada was playing Koreans, Persians, Italians. Yeah, okay. Oh, I have 1, 2, 3. I've got 6 on each side. Yeah, we're fine. And we're going to Vinland Saga. It will be Major KD back in, Twepy and Daywalker playing again. So Polar, after he, well, got out elephanted by Peon, patrolling OP, will be sitting out a match. We draft all the time. DMM is just like pools. Well, in TDM we're drafting, right? It's just different setups how to set up team game tournaments. This, at least in the group stage, I think has helped like the newer teams of the nations that aren't as established DM nations, in order to have good civ selection still, because I think in the draft that would have been a lot harder for them. I think that's like one of the arguments for it. There's obviously some debates around it always. And for some reason I see... Oh, that's an old lobby. That's still a ghost lobby here. But yeah, we're going to Vinland Saga. So give me some Civ predictions for Vinland Saga. The potential game, or the game 3 in the set. As the winner of game 2 was Canada. What? Actually only people played on Canada? Feels almost mean by everybody else not to give you any points for betting on Canada there. Japanese for Great Britain says Hitman. Oh, hi Hitman. PV remaining civs are concerning? I would say so indeed. Canada got a win and a loss with cheaper civs in the first 2 games. Well, I don't know why you need to spoiler me, Oracle. I want to cast it after, so please don't. I announced it too. But we're on to Vinland Saga. In this amazing series. And there we have them, the Jurchens. Whoever asked about them earlier might see their power now. It is the Jurchens for Maldhar, faster attacking step lancers to rush, and then amazing rocket cards and grenadiers for the siege ball. NuclearPasta as the Gujarat pocket for Canada, and Peon as the Slavs. On the British side of things, we've got Byzantines for Twepy, KD with the Italians, and Daywalker with the Japanese. So this feels like game 5, or like, I don't know. This feels like Canada will go up 2-1, because this is a throwing matchup for the British. This is a throwaway game, right? But let's see. I mean, Canada made their throwaway game close in game 1. Maybe the Brits can even win theirs. Let's see. The Civs are still not that bad. Well, Italians, Japanese, Byzantines. It's not the greatest. Georgians, Gujarat, Slavs is massive investment for the Canadians, though. So this is working out kind of beautifully for the British. If you do an eco round, I guess that's what you want. For the opposing team to invest all their good civs, and they're kind of doing that. So in the yellow, no, in the flanks, we've got Daywalker with the Japanese against Peon's Slavs. And then on the left side, we've got Maldhar with the Jurchens versus KD's Italians. Actually kind of working out somewhat alright, civ-wise, for the British. A Italian clump for KD. And pockets, we've got the Byzantines for Twepy, which should also be worse than the Gujarats of NuclearPasta. NuclearPasta actually trying to rush the Italians. Feel like Gujarats should be trying to rush the other flank. But let's see. Premature deletes here maybe. Maldhar's Hussars getting in. Step Lancers are forward. Jurchen Step Lancers attack 25% faster. So very dangerous rushing unit for them. No Eco KD just yet, as these Step Lancers will now try to find their way in. Camels intercepting them. Villagers are walled in far enough, I guess, for the Step Lancers not be able to hit them. Kind of good for the Brits. It's against KD, who's a quick wall master. If it wasn't a quick wall master for this villager. Only one build down though. Can still be happy. No! The castle wasn't constructed! Castle killed by Step Lancers for Maldhar. Might be looking at a quick one, guys. Maldhar looking to rush down here on the other side. Daywalker is trying to make something happen with the Japanese CA. They are double rushing onto the Italians of KD, and this is not looking pretty for KD. This is not looking pretty. The Grenadiers even shooting at the TC. Maldhar going all out with the Jurchens. And whoever asked what the power of the Jurchens in TM would be, here it is at full display. Generalist crossbowmen trying to be master. Camels are trying to fight the other camels. Twepy trying to come to help. Okay, will be there now. Will be fighting the Step Lancers. Maldhar is committing to killing the town center. We can't look at the other side. There's some rushing going on, not much value being found. The big question is, can the town center survive? Or can they defeat Major KD here? Can they defeat one of the top favorite teams, a player of one of the top favorite teams to win the whole tournament in UKA? The town center is at 500 HP. I almost feel like I'm casting sudden death here. But the Step Lancers are moving out now. Town center might survive. Traps are up though. Forward castle will regenerate as well for the Jurchens. And we've got the Grenadiers behind that. And this is looking troublesome for the British, for Major KD, who has some villagers retreated. Step Lancers around. Genbo's trying their best, clearing up the Step Lancers, so maybe surviving a little bit longer. NuclearPasta has his own camels now, together with the Grenadiers. They're even pushing Twepy's camels back here. What's going on the right side? Elephant archers being supplied to the army of the Slavs. Slav Scorpion Halberdier with the Elephant archers is at minimum containing Daywalker. Daywalker kills a castle though, but the big story is on the left side. It's a lot of Step Lancers, it's a lot of Grenadiers, it's a lot of Elephant archers. The bets are muscles or rocks? The bets are rocks. Camel riders fighting there. Canada going for the knockout and hoping they can hang on and win one of the last two, yeah. So both teams are kind of going for a setup that will inadvertently kind of lead us. At least it's giving good chance for game 5. Not inadvertently, right? Canada manages to win the first one of the two after. That would be that. TC goes down. Major KD has no structures left. They can produce villagers. So we can't go above 8 villagers anymore anytime soon. And running away is super hard on this map. Where do you even reboom? You make a TC here maybe. It is Vinland Saga, so there's lots of unbuildable ice terrain. Lots of map control for the Canadians. And the villagers are trying to run along the edge of the map. They are making it to safety, not being followed. Instead, KD's base is getting finished by Maldhar. The Brits are still playing on, even though basically losing a bear. And KD's even rebooming on the home island of Twepy. There's not much to blame on KD here, by the way. Like, I don't think Italians have a very easy time against Step Lancers. They don't even get Halberdier, right? And no strong cavalry. Good job of NuclearPasta to block off the reinforcements of the pocket as well. Well, now it can be long and painful if he has to reboom for quite a bit. But there comes NuclearPastas and Peons push on the right side. Not many Elephant archers, so it's purely a Slav siege push. But I feel like once Canada sees that the Britons aren't investing anything here, they will regret their swift choices, I think. Because they could have probably, they think to themselves, we could have won this with 2 out of our civs and then have a bad one there as well. KD sending resources to Daywalker, so he's slinging his res away after he got defeated in order to prep up his ally and allow Daywalker maybe to kill Peon, which they are still trying to do. GB still pushing forward on that side. So many Scorpions for the Slavs though, right? Not many on it. I guess you have the Catapulto Trebuchets that are good at taking out siege, good at taking out buildings. Kind of the strength he is playing for. Not that much pop on Daywalker's side either though, and on the left side it should be 2 armies kind of, but Twepy's actually holding this. Lots of Iron Pagoda now for Maldhar. Very strong unit against melee, blocks a melee attack, and is melting through the cataphracts. Yeah, cataphracts not a great unit against Iron Pagoda. Not even sure why we've got cataphracts on the field here. I feel like just playing Byzantine camels probably be better. I guess cataphracts against the grenadiers? But their pierce armor is low, so right? Shouldn't you play paladin here, maybe? Paladin or camel I would like more than cataphract. I mean, the GB team has no ground. It's actually some castles. Oh no! KD is repairing Twepy's castle in the middle. 2-1 is hard to argue with. 2-1 for the underdog team. But they've lost their amazing draft position, right? That they got by the Sylphs using M1 and 2 petards! Daywalker! Is Daywalker just playing to make me happy now? Oh, it's 5 no, it's 6 petards. It's maybe not even misclick territory. Should be a misclick though, I don't think. I don't think with this state of the set, Daywalker is making moves just to make me happy. One of those 81 clicks probably landed on the petards by accident. Does 81 effective clicks per minute. But it's progressing! No way, can the Brits bring this back? Can Daywalker single-handedly, with the resource that Katie sent him, bring the British back into this game? Twepy's dying though, right? I mean, even if Daywalker kills Pio. Is that enough? That's why I don't make scopes in the siege battle. Oh, they're killing the petards though. So, petards are OP, so scorpions must be OP. Oh, ninjas are taking them out. Yeah, like... Now some more ninjas are coming. And Daywalker calls to GG, knows he can't push fast enough. Other side is losing. Twepy with the push. Twepy has lost his complete land control here. Maldhar and NuclearPasta with a beautiful double rush onto KD, and then some pushing and some stabilizing done on the sides. Great game by NuclearPasta as well. Maldhar showing the might of the Georgians. Brings Canada 2 points on the scoreboard. I called it daring to say 3-2. Well. Might end up even being a 3-1 for Canada. They're on match point. Maybe the extra motivation of some extra Canadian eyes on this set is carrying Maldhar, NuclearPasta and Pion to victory. 430 kills for Maldhar. Total and brutal domination with the Georgian civilization. What a game. Let me quickly add the scoreline for Canada. What a series. Georgians still there for Great Britain. Gojara still there for Great Britain. And Slavs were used, but this is looking nice for them now. And third civilization for them was... no, I already ticked off. And the British had only used Byzantines, Italians, and one of their Japanese. So yeah, Civ advantage has switched, but score has switched as well. Hard to argue with that. I will be right back with game number 4. Match point for Canada. Alright. The Group 1 position of GB on the line. They will turn to Trusted Territorium. They will turn to Runestones as they lost one of their home maps here. Canada maybe invested so much because they did not think that the British would kind of throw away, like would use a throwaway Civ matchup on their home maps. So does Great Britain A split top picks here or go all in for fairly even matchup in game 5? I think you split, right? I think you have to split. So then you've got 2 games where you have an advantage. GB should on paper have the higher player quality. So they should feel confident enough for that. And you could do something like double Rushy again, right? Jurchens and Goths maybe for the British now. The players have Muisca, well hopefully one of them does. If not, they will have to buy it. I will not say that one of our players during oh no, that was during practice. I thought it was the tournament match, but it wasn't the tournament. Yeah, they had a practice set where one of our players bought the DLC in the middle of it. That's always still an option here as well. We're going to Canyon Lake actually. So never mind me saying they're turning to Runestones. They are turning on to... Wait, there's so many lobbies. I guess the lobby crashed? Saw Canyon Lake lobby and now it's gone, so I guess they're rehosting. Ghost Muisca Japanese full infantry play. Then if it fails you could just Kuchara Japanese. But you don't have 2 Japanese anymore, no? No, you've got only Byzantines. You don't have 2 Japanese. You have to use Byzantines. Use what? Have to Snuffle's G plant rotation. I'm not sure, does he count Temple Guards though, right? Or Chumpy? None of them have swords. They've got, I don't know, pickaxes and... What do Chumpy even attack with? A mace, I guess? Some sort of mace? They're not really swords. So... Tom Snuffles has streamed once in preparation for streaming DM Nations Cup, but hasn't streamed DM Nations Cup yet. So we can't ask him. Okay, they're hosting again. It will be Canyon Lake. So it will not be Runestones. We get to that scenario that Mojito always asks for, to have Runestones game 5. Like the decider game on the Classic. If Great Britain wins this game, we will go to a Runestones decider. Goth and Japanese, that's already a decent dream for Snuffles, yeah. I mean, Byzantines have champions. They don't really have bonuses on them, but they do get champion. We will see, obviously, always the same 3 players for Canada, because they've only got 3. We will see Polar, Twepy and Daywalker. As the result was a win for Canada, people are only betting on Canada, it seems. And game 4 prediction will be up when the game starts. But it has done, so let's go. Match point for Team Canada. Mods, please, can you not? Why are you doing that, Orico? Oh, come on. How do I untime out? I'm sorry, it's like... Orico... Please. Don't... Spoil, okay? If you're doing me, you're actually getting a 10 out. I'm doing everything here myself. I announced what set I will cast after. Why do you spoil the set I'm gonna cast as Rex that's happening during this set? It's not about automod. It's about you spoiling for the second time on the series I'm about to cast after this. And I have no clue why you do that. 2 times in a row. Seriously, we're having one of the greatest sets of the Nations Cup. That's not what I want to be talking about. Welcome to game number 4. When I do the prediction, I don't have even mods, I have to do everything myself, and then people do this bullshit. Welcome to game number 4, GBA versus Canada. Match point for Canada, really important game. Sadly, I had no time to look at the civilizations now. We've got Twepy with the Jurchens and the Gujaras, so they are investing both on the same game. Maldhar as the Byzantines, and it's a full throwaway game, I think, by the Canadians. Great setup to get a game 5 here, at least civ-wise. We've got Peon with the Goths as a flank. Pocket Muisca, okay, wild. Temple Guard, Chumpy mix coming out of the barracks. And Maldhar with the Byzantines up north. Byzantines will fight against the Jurchens. That's relatively good for the Canadians, because Byzantines have access to camels. Goths would have a harder time against the Steppe Lancers. Goths are fighting against the Gujaras that are trying to rush them, but they are actually in the side against the Japanese. Japanese, however, is a good matchup for Daywalker against the Goths if they can get to their infantry spam. Goths are trying to rush forward 3-1 eco KD in favor of Polar. Peon has lost 3 villagers actually. The Gujara rush doing something on him. Polar getting 3 kills there. And the heavy cavalry archers rolling in there. Camels rolling in there as well. Siege workshops towards the middle for NuclearPasta. Steppe Lancers moving forward for Twepy. How is the state of Maldhar? State of Maldhar is relatively good. Only lost 2 villagers against the Muisca, that's fine. But Peon is in big trouble here. All the armies are gathering at his base. NuclearPasta is very slow in the pocket with the Temple Guards. Trying to roll in. Temple Guards are also terrible against infantry. This unit is only good against cavalry. This is not very helpful what NuclearPasta is sending there at all against the champions. At least the Otter finds some kills. NuclearPasta sending Siege Onagers. Okay, I take it back. The Siege Onager is very helpful for the Muisca shooting onto the champions. And 1 Siege Onager. The Temple Guards might not be useful. But the Siege Onager, the 1 Siege Onager getting 20 kills. Single-handedly, 1 unit saves Peon's life in this game. An incredible hero SO for NuclearPasta, saving his teammate here. But the trebuchets are set up. The army is behind that. And Maldhar, we kind of missed on the other side. Probably a big dive, as I do see a lot of purple on this base. Yeah, there was a giant dive by Twepy. So let's watch that back while we're watching that hero SO. Let's watch what was happening on the other side. There was actually the game-ending side after all. And yeah, anybody in chat still doubting why Trojans are good in DM? Grenadier Steplants are just melting camels completely. Steplants of us going up the hill. Total and brutal run in there for Twepy. And he just patrols forward the army. If you have a superior army, just go for it. The DMer confidence on the DM hero Twepy, and he brings down Maldhar to kneel quite fast. 20 population for Maldhar only. Peon, even though that hero is still very damaged. And Canada calls it. And guys, we are going to a game 5. For the second time in Deathmatch Nations Cup, we will have a full-length series, and we will have it between two of the very good teams in this Nations Cup. Of two of the traditional DM nations in Great Britain and Canada. Remove Trent McCrane for Georges. No, they're fun though. I like them. Don't nerf them. No, don't stop rushing. Stop nerfing the rush civs. Like buff some other civs. Give Frank Trent McCrane back. I don't know, brutal window though, but made sense with the civilizations, right? GB invested everything to make it to a game 5 here. And the Canadians kind of threw away this game and put their remaining options onto the game 5 itself. Canada used only Muiskas, Goth, and one of the Byzantines. So Lithuanians is a good pocket. Teutons, Japanese, very solid flanks for Canada. And on the other hand side, GB used Georgians, Gujaras, and Japanese. And now I left with Goth, Byzantines, Muisca. Exactly the comp we just saw. Exactly the comp what we just saw. I mean, it's obviously not against as dangerous civs as Georgians and Gujaras. But if I'm a British fan, I sense trouble. And they will have to play that not on a map where you can cook, but the remaining map is the bog standard map. The map that most DM ranked games are played on. It will be Runestone's map everybody here knows very, very well from these 6 players that will play. It will be Maldhar, Daywalker, Peon, NuclearPasta, Twepy, and an unknown 5th. They are still deciding if it will be Major KD or Polar who will play for the British in the most crucial game of the group stage for them. I'm sure. What a series. I feel like people say Pool 2 is so good, like it doesn't even have throw series, but you've seen throw games from both these teams. Might be connected to the map choices though. Game 4 on Hurricane went great for Canada, not even joking. I would say a bit of the same way how... Yeah, it worked in the end out, I guess, for Game 3, right? With that Game 4. That's why I said GV should split their civs. Not play Georgians Gujaras together. Oh well, there's disagreed, and here we are. Will be Major KD in the final game. Polar benching himself a lot as a captain in this very important series. What are your predictions? Do you think Canada will do it? Will they make the upset happen with the bit stronger civ? It's not massive, but Teutons and Japanese are better, right? Or will GB pull through and pull a magical chicken out of their head? Magical rabbit, I guess, with Muisca, Goths and Byzantines. No, it's GB. Can't remember a time where Civcoms had this much impact. The Muisca lore needs to be founded now, guys. Still anxiously awaiting the ever so important Game 5. I wanted to say it has started, but I think it has... Ah no, never mind. The game name goes away here. It has started. Well, no need to guess civilizations anymore, right? We know what they'll be. So all that's left is to predict the outcome of Game 5 on Runestones. The map everybody knows best. And the perfect setup for the all-important decider in this very important top match in Group H of Deathmatch Nations Cup 2026. Maldhar will be sporting the Japanese. Daywalker with the Goths. Has played so many Goth games in his life. Very reasonable choice. Pion with the Teutons. Pasta with the Lithuanian pocket. Twepy will play Byzantine pocket for the other team. And KD with Muisca on the flank. And I think I prefer that, having Muisca on the flank as opposed to the pocket. That was a bit too slow for the Canadians last game. Prediction is open. Bet your points now on this Game 5 decider. Mr. Nuet DM only played this in Pick and Mixer too. Oh yeah, that was a great tournament. 25k points or 20k points were just bet. A massive all-in. Mojito going all in on Canada to push through the upset here. So if you've got any rocks, want to take Maldhar's there. It's only 50% of his muscles, I guess, but still a lot of his rocks to gain. And we're off. The decider has started. Will be Maldhar on the right side, fighting Japanese onto the Muisca of Major KD. That is terrible for Muisca. What did we do against champions? I think champions just killed a Civ, no? On the left side, we've got Teutons for Pion, facing against the Goths. Goths have no good options here versus Japanese or versus Teutons. Versus Teutons can be really good, actually. Never mind. Teutons don't have treadmill crane. Teutons can be slow. Daywalker can potentially save it for the British here with a heavy rush onto Pion. Pocket will need to come to support. It's NuclearPasta with the Lithuanians on the other side. Byzantine Pocket makes sense. They have camels. Even though it's not the greatest camels in the world. The Goth Rush is coming in. The Goth Rush here is the one option, I believe, for the British team to make it happen and win this series. They are going around the base on the left side. No villager kill. One villager kill found. Pion has lost 2 villager. One died to Twepy's rush as well. It's a double rush onto Pion. That's what the Brits are placing their hope on. In the north, Maldhar's champions should completely obliterate everything the Muisca can make, probably. If they can't get some amazing SO shots or something. But how can Pion survive this? He's making a chicken castle. That is very needed. Would even like to see more villagers on that, especially the ones that are idle. Should be put onto the castle. I'm not sure if we need to build houses right now. We might be housed, but we desperately need this castle up for Pion, who has lost 4 villagers, but it's not killing enough for the Brits. The Paladins are now coming for NuclearPasta. Muisca not making Temple Guard? Makes sense, they're facing full champion. Why would you make Temple Guard against the army of the Japanese? they need to be doing Quechua Warriors probably. Yeah, I think that's the unit they need to be making. And I think Jumpy's still better against infantry than Temple Guard. So actually, I disagree with Orico and agree with what Maldhar, with what... Who's playing them? KD is doing. Peon is stabilizing. This is looking solid for Canada. Last chance to bet. Still a good position though for Twepy. ETK now out for Canada. This will be very close. This will be very decisive. This will be a very exciting game. It already is, as the Paladins try to defend them, but obviously not the greatest against Camels. Camels should maybe be trying to fight the cavalry. They are trying to jump onto the siege, however. More units coming forward by Daywalker. Very aggressive triple forward castle for Daywalker with the siege workshops placed. That's a lot of army in place here for GB. This is the side they need to win, because I think the Japanese should have a great matchup on the other side. Castle set up for KD to delay is looking good, making TCs behind, but doesn't really have the expansion here. On the other side, well, obviously even less expansion for Peon, only one castle up. This castle is way too forward. Bombard cannons of the Ghosts are there. Bombard cannons of the Ghosts are there. The army. Oh, and Daywalker dodges the SO shots. Daywalker dodges the SO shots even with the heads. Daywalker is so OP, man. Castle falls to the bombard cannon. Paladins are there. They need to try to stabilize that. KD even kind of holding the line here. KD even denying Maldhar's castle. This is massive for the British. They are pulling through with the worst civilizations. KD God tier gaming with the Quechua Warriors as Muisca is stopping the Japanese up top. The much hyped Japanese. All the pros saying how good Japanese are, how good Twepy is because it has double Japanese. And then they're losing to the Muisca, which are arguably also in Pool B, but you know, we weren't hyping the Muisca. Double castle even forward now there for Major KD. There is some army pushing back for the Canadians on the left, but TC has been lost for Peon. No Treadmill Crane is making rebooming harder for them as well. The armies are setting up. The armies are streaming forward for the British. And up top, KD is doing such a good job. Maldhar kind of falling back. Doesn't really have the infantry. Isn't really making infantry. What's happening with all his Maldhar's res? Maldhar's not producing. 100 villages in queue and nothing else. Has Maldhar given up mentally? Nothing is being produced here. Maldhar in shambles because he's losing to the Muisca and he can't believe it. On the left side, Pasta doing his best to stabilize here. Lidus with +5 attack, already getting 3 relics. Great job by NuclearPasta to collect the relics. Daywalker coming in with Goth Heavy Cav Archer. We've seen that before out of Twepy, I think, but also a Team GB member. Dominating with Goth CA against Shikso and Tour folks in Karimir Taiwan. The best HCA for sure. As the champions run forward and attack the castle. The CA denying castles, attempting to deny the reboom for Peon. Does Peon have a TC up? Yeah, Peon has 2 TCs up at least. But the Muisca of KD, Muisca might actually be underrated. I don't know, I think full champion should have still worked here for the Japanese, but Maldhar is producing CA against this death ball of scorpions and a skirmisher unit after all. No, I don't think CA is the choice here. People might be only now finding out how to play Muisca, but I think Maldhar is in the process of finding out how to play against Muisca, or rather, how not to play against Muisca. In the south, NuclearPasta doing such a great job, single-handedly holding 2 players back here with the lightest spam. Great gameplay by NuclearPasta, kind of both flanks struggling, but he's holding the line, he's keeping Canada in this game 5, he's sniping the siege. It's a standout performance by NuclearPasta, but is it enough? Maldhar now jumping onto the Siege Samurai. Should get bonus damage against the Quechua Warriors as well. So I like the Samurai thought. They are also a bit faster in closing the gap. Siege Archers are there though. KD needs some attack rounds. It's Maldhar's secret weapon. It's a secret weapon though for French-speaking players. Travesty won a 1v1 earlier on Major KD's stream where Major KD had to laugh so hard because he attack grounded constantly with his Siege Archers against the Samurai. Then KD basically died of laughter in the game. And maybe that's a tactic Maldhar could employ here as well by always trickling the Samurai in, making KD laugh so hard that even his whole team falters. Like KD did in that 1v1 earlier today. Great raid by Maldhar. Kalish the Raids is back. Maldhar doesn't care about fighting Whisker anymore. He's done fighting that shit that he doesn't understand. He wants to do something he understands very well. Raiding with Cav Archers. And the trade is fully open for the British. There is a lot of trade this time as well to find. Problem, no trade really has been set up. Peon was too dead. Didn't really get to set up trade. Pasta also quite late with that. Maldhar at least has the trade set up. Maldhar has reached the trade with his CA. And I will definitely be using anti-ad medicine on this game. As the trade cuts are going down, Camels, there's a reaction by Twepy, a little bit late. Feel like there was a bit more time to react to this, but does have some units at the front, might have been pop blocked, but honestly that's mainly Huskarls. And Lidis are so good now at this stage of the game. Well, it's still longer than the rush at the start implied, I would say. 17 minutes in game time. Peon kind of finding his footing in the game, and besides the start, Teutons are way better than Goth in that 1v1. On the other side, KD is getting pushed back by the Katabuto trebuchets a bit now. Japanese adding their own onagers. Canada's making it a game. Whisker pushing Japanese, certainly a twist I didn't expect. I agree. But the push might be ending now. Japanese was against Goss. Would be a little better against Teutons for sure. Yeah, would be like overall would be better for the Brits, right? The other way around? No. Then their Goss would run into Japanese. No, better for the Canadians. And Teutons would be amazing against Whisker. Yeah. It's actually the bad way around for Canada. Kind of helping the British out. But nonetheless, Canada is pushing a little bit back. Trebuchet is on the way back, but there's bombard cannons out for the Goss. Should take aim there. Maybe more light is coming in to hold the line here. It's not too far from the trade line there. Maldhar kind of the only one with significant trade numbers though on the Canadian side, and it starts to show in the resources. Peon is pretty out of resources. No food whatsoever for Peon. Maldhar sending food, sending gold, sending stone to Peon. Good realization there by the team to sling. And Maldhar still kind of getting pushed by the Whisker though. Maldhar held and boomed to sling after. He's 162. Yeah, maybe that's a strategy. Was it Oracle putting Copium towards his former captain? Does he want to be on so many bills? I'm not sure. I mean, he should be just like wanting to win his matchup, no? Well, I guess Teutons have a good matchup now too. This game might turn, guys. The longer this goes, it's a bit like the game, the Coastal Mountain game. The longer this goes, the better for Canada. They have the stronger civs for the mid to late game by a landslide. And therefore, if the British can't push into the trade soon, Canada might take this game 5. What is this house wall? Okay, very forward house wall by Major KD. Maybe you're right, Oracle. Maybe Maldhar wants to sling the Teuton, I guess, back into the game because they have the strongest units and the Lithuanians have very strong units too. Oh, castles by Pasta. Pasta still did an amazing job this series. It's not slinging that much though, right? Did that one big sling? Ever since then he hasn't slung. Okay, it's double the military and yet that's what happens with Gothman. They have a lot of military. But numbers might be important, but they're not everything. This looks a bit weird with the walls now, but those were quick walls on structures by Pion earlier in the rush. And Lydes and Teuton Paladin, that's very much the quality military. You can see the army value at the top. The army value is not much different. And something like hand cannons has a high gold percentage, but isn't really good against anything here. KD is maybe also slinging. He's also 140 villagers, which I'm pretty sure you don't need with Muisca, but you don't really see the sling, right? Maldhar slung 5k. Okay, KD slung 5k too. I guess that's fair. He's slinging to Daywalker, I guess, to keep the pressure up, but slinging to the Goth? I mean, not that they have a good Civ to sling to in their roster, right? Slinging to the one pushing, I suppose. Bombard cannons can't even attack the Teuton castles though, so the matchup is getting really ugly after a while, yeah. Like to see Maldhar going for another raid, and as I say that, Maldhar is going for another raid. What are the Byzantines up to? The Byzantines with 150 wins seems crazy. I have no clue why the Byzantine players in this set keep insisting on making cataphracts. What do cataphracts even give you here? There's no infantry. Just make paladin. Just make camels. Why are we making cataphracts? Makes no sense. Yeah, actually, trade is fully open. That's why I wanted Maldhar to raid again, and that's why Maldhar is. But Maldhar will find out, I guess, as there is at least one castle exactly where Maldhar is going that wasn't there before, so there was some reaction, and there's another one with one villager coming up here. I'm not sure that will go up if Maldhar finds it. And Maldhar is in the trade again. What a series. This will go long game, guys. Warpath called it by calling the opposite. As ever so often, this will be a long game. Might even be a wood game. Unless they can push through here on the left. Or on the right, I guess. But I don't think the Muisca can really. Now there's more champions for Maldhar. And trade is relatively low, at least for KD. Trade numbers good on both sides. What an epic series. I mean, Switzerland-France was probably the series of the group stage. But it wasn't as high level, right? This is the high level series of the group stage. I think like Switzerland-France had more ridiculous moments than this one. But that's what happens. This is top level DM, so it's the top level set of the group stage so far. Yeah, raids are doing their thing. Canada having a good resource bank. Decent resources for... Nah, the bank's actually better for the GB team. Yeah, if these castles fall, Canadians would be in trouble. Still have this Lydes, still have SO, where the Paladin. Paladin are trying to raid. This might be too early. I don't think Pion should be raiding. Pion can't afford to lose this position here. No, let Maldhar raid. Pion, you should not be the one raiding here. Well, defensive trebuchets kill a trebuchet. Trebuchet is dying for Pion as well, though. Pion getting overconfident after being dead in this game. Ooh, this raid will not do anything. Because the camels are reacting. At least it keeps some army back. Here come the Lydes. That would be a crucial attempt of a Lydes clear. But it will be a successful one. One castle falls, one castle stands. Trade keeps going. Also, I guess its castle does object at least the back market. It's only peons trade that would be affected there. Lighters get the clear up. Great moment for Canada. Score lead has switched as well in favor of the Canadians. This is so funny in saying that, and it doesn't mean like Hera, but Team Canada. Hera sucks at DM. Oh, it doesn't. It didn't look that great when he played it a bit. One stream. He could be very good very quickly though. Most probably. He's playing Warcraft 3 for whatever reason. But everybody else is playing Deathmatch right now. And Maldhar tried to push, but will get pushed back with the help of Twepy getting a nice clear this time. And Twepy has still not stopped making cataphracts, and I still don't understand what for. I would really wish Twepy would stop making cataphracts. I think with this clear up and just with the civilizations from this point on for Canada, this is Canada's game to lose now. I think I agree with Lido. I don't know how they win now if they couldn't win from that position, but there is some things. There are some things you can do as experienced DMers. You can do some things with raids. For example, with these Cabbages raids, the problem is the only one doing those experienced DMer raid things is Maldhar. And he will find a farm raid here. Could also still easily go through to the trade. He's not aware of that and simply takes out some villagers. That might hurt him though, because arguably I think the Byzantines had too many here. Well, now they're down to 65. Trade numbers are looking good. Still trying to kill castles. Wood. Soon something we have to think about. Still, we do have quite some wood on the map. Kind of all spread around, so not yet really a topic. If it comes to that, Pasta is taking middle control. Pasta is playing this game so well. I can't overstate how strong NuclearPasta is playing in this game. And the Canadians, I know they've trained a lot, definitely are a team to look out for in this DM Nations Cup. No, I wouldn't say it's looking GG yet. Canada has the better civs, but the game is actually super duper even right now. Just that Canada has the civ advantage. Lithuanians have 4 relics. And yeah, I mean the problem is what do Goths do now, right? I think Muisca can still keep doing what they have been doing, like infantry, Quechua warrior, and so. And be like, okay, probably won't push. KD could delete maybe and try for a big push. Maybe KD can push this back. Defense are looking good for Maldhar though. And Daywalker, he's unfortunately Ghost in late game. What happens is this ends up being a wood game. Japanese are relatively out, can only make champions then. But that's enough to kill the Muisca. I mean, light is just win if it's a wood game though. Lightest and Teuton Paladin would be even better then. Maybe just running around with camels here, but do camels want to fight Japanese infantry? I don't think so. Neither do temple guards. Neither do temple guards. And this is looking very good for Canada. This fight will be won by the big Twepy trap action now. If you have the Twepy mode, would be a good moment. Pion sending gold to Maldhar now. Slinging a bit back what he got earlier. Has a lot of gold for Pion. Trade numbers looking really nice for Team Canada. Also looking solid for Team Great Britain. Man, imagine Twepy was not Byzantines, but had the Gujaras in game 5. Instead of playing them in the game 4 that they kind of won anyways. And I think if it was Gujaras instead of Byzantines here, they just erase Pion and win the game there. With the Gujara extra production, bonus damage, and so on and so on. Nonkel, beautiful. First chatter is the only one who heeds my call. It speaks for that you're amazing addition to chat. Please chat more. Also speaks against the rest of the chat, obviously. See jointer shots for Pion landing onto the bombard cannons and Daywalker. He rushed well. He almost won the game with killing Pion. But now he's in Goth shambles. Instead of Wills, Blue should have read a trade? I think so too. GV team had too many Wills. I mean, they have still, right? KD, I guess, is he still slinging? No, he's not even additionally slinging. So I don't like the 150 Wills from KD, and I don't think I like them from Maldhar anymore as well. I think Japanese don't really need that. Japanese Cavalier? Really? Against what? Against the Quechua Warriors, I guess. Cavalier versus Pikeman in Japanese versus Whisker. Do these things really kill champions that way? That we need to go Japanese Cavalier from Maldhar here? Against Camel Pocket? I don't know about that. Surely Samurai better. I would think so too. I don't like the Cavalier at all. But you know, what do I know? Canada is about to upset a series against one of the top 4 teams in the tournament, so getting harder and harder to criticize them. Yeah, enough asking his pocket for Kyle. He's taking the SO snipe into his own hands. I guess. Yeah, it's a lot harder with Samurai, right? ARPs! Hitting ARPs! Okay, maybe they do have a unit against infantry. How good are Whisker ARPs? No last armor. They have Thumbring. Do they have Bracer? I have Bracer. Okay, that's actually solid ARP. I never considered that, but Whisker have ARP. Okay, playable ARP with Thumbring. The problem is the Goth side though for the British, right? Pasta and Pion incessantly pushing and raiding. Trade isn't even in the corner. I mean, what's this? Market by Daywalker. Maybe there was more gold, more stone here blocking it. But it looks ugly. I mean, it's helping, I guess. Otherwise the trade cards would be in peril. Now the paladins are taking the wrong space. They have up bonuses? What? I'm only playing monks, man, and temple guards. In RM. Archery range units have more melee armor. Oh, true. 3 melee armor. That's actually pretty useful in DM. And they move fast. Oh, that's the faster moving ARPs. Huh. Okay. Okay. That's actually pretty nice with the faster moving ARPs, no? Yeah, they do move relatively fast. Whisker have even more bonuses. I think Whisker are just a lot better at DM than the other Newses, and that's why one of the big reasons why Pool 2 is so good. It's not good enough though, right? Against the Sils of the others, but the problem is more the Goths. Than the Muisca here. Even though my dad's a bit pushing now. With the Cavalier, so I guess he was right. And Great Britain A, after very convincing performances so far in the group stage, one of those yesterday, will, I mean, probably not win their group until if Canada doesn't fuck up. But who else is in Group H? NASA and Bulgaria. I think Canada should feel confident there. So the chances for Great Britain, if they lose this game, which I think they are about to win the group stage, will be tough. And every group winning team in the bracket draw has to start folding their hands already, because they will have to pray to not meet Great Britain A in the round of 16. Because obviously, as well as Canada played today, they will still be a top team, and I for one do not want to meet them in the round of 16, assuming we make it there, I guess. They might have had a point with Cavalier. Whatever works, works. Paladin out of Lithuanians coming over there. I guess they have more Pierce armor, so technically it's better against the Quechua warriors than sending Lighters. Thinking of everything. Pasta is a little cook, so it's the wrong way around. Usually the cook cooks the pasta, and not the pasta cooking the major. I think collectively we have the highest RM team game ratings, says. They have Bulgaria's potential. Collectively they have the highest rating. Oh, they have the highest rating. Really? Okay. Yeah, they didn't look bad, but still quite inexperienced in DM, right? I think they showed potential, but they would need to practice, and I'm not sure how much they're practicing. I haven't seen them in any lobbies, like, not like India. Agent P, for example, is playing a lot. Well, that's at least one of them, but some of the other high RMers that we don't know in DM are playing a lot more, I think, than the Bulgarians. Welcome to a Pihilido reference that I don't understand, even though they're referencing my own country. But I think they're more referencing something that has to do with US and Canada. What the hell is Juno Beach? Is that a World War II battlefield? Or is it some... It sounds a bit like Jersey Shore, you know? If it's a World War II battlefield, it's obviously something very different than Jersey Shore, but it sounds like Juno Beach or Jersey Shore. You know, it could be a Jersey Shore spin-off. Who's the Canadian beachhead on D-Day? Okay, that makes sense, as Canada will not be blamed today. Canada will be ruling victorious, spurred on by all the Canadian eyes on this game. Maldhar's team does the deemed impossible. Nobody trusted them before the series. Everybody said the easy guess was 3-0 for Great Britain, but Canada proves the haters wrong. Khaleeses the raids, lets them Khalees the raids or something. It's not French Canada this time. It's I don't know, I think Pion is also French Canada. That's a lot of French Canada in the team, actually. What an absolute banger of a series. And an upset. Canada beats Great Britain's top team. British hearts in shambles. The Commonwealth will now be ruled from Toronto. Or from Montreal. More like Montreal with these players, I guess. So, French takeover of the United Kingdom by proxy.